is religious spirits can be very judgmental, very judgmental. That spirit is always judging folk. A woman comes into church, she got long nails painted, she got different color, purple, red hair, she got tight, short dress on, she got tattoos all on her arms, and the religious spirit will go and say, you can't come in here. You can't be in this church looking like that. Let's stop for a minute and realize that when you got people come, this is the reason why the world won't come to the church. They feel condemned and judged by Christians. If I've been out there in the world for the longest time, I don't know your holy standards. I really don't know what's right or what's wrong. I'm coming to church. The fact that they walk in church says to me there's something in the heart that is open to want to receive God. You got to give, and we had this to happen back at the old church years ago. People would come in off the streets, they didn't smell right, they didn't dress right, and immediately those religious spirits attacked those folk. And many of them people left the church and never went back. And that means if they went to hell because their last experience with church was condemning and judgmental, and you caused that, their blood will be on your hands when you stand before God. You got to watch how you treat God's people and make sure that they are loved. Hear me. You got to watch how you treat people. Because see, the religious spirit is judgmental because the heart is not right. Listen to me. God ain't looking at your outside appearance, and that's what religion does. It bases everything externally or on the outside, but it never looks at the heart. The fact that woman coming in here says to me she wants God. She just needs time for somebody to disciple her and nurture her and care for her, and then be able to tell her how to handle her dress. But you don't come in day one. You can't stay in here like that. No, a mature, loving person would have said, sweetheart, we glad to have you, and we would love for you to continue to come. I would just love to just take some time with you and just share some things with you about the Lord. And then when you get a chance privately to talk, say, look, we want to always bring respect to the house of God. See, so now she's feeling loved and being corrected in a nice, godly way. Not you can't stay in here. This church don't belong for you to determine who gonna come in here. But sometimes people, well, I won't say that right now. I just want to make sure I say the right thing at the right time. We need to address this. Tell the pastor we can't have these women coming here looking like that. They got all these color hairs, tattoos everywhere, and all that. Give the people an opportunity to come. At least they in here. Let me show you a similar situation. I'm probably going to close on this. And this is in Luke chapter 7, verse 36 through 47. In Luke chapter 7, verse 36 through 47 in the New Living Translation. I want you to see the spirit of religion. You're getting ready to see it right now biblically. Watch this. One of the Pharisees asked Jesus to have dinner with him. So Jesus went to his home, sat down to eat. When a certain immoral woman, she's more than likely a prostitute, from that city, heard he was eating there, she brought a beautiful alabaster jar filled with expensive perfume. Then she knelt behind him at his feet, weeping. Her tears fell on his feet, and she wiped them off with her hair. Then she kept kissing his feet and putting perfume on them. Now, this was a prostitute at the feet of Jesus. She recognized her sin, and she recognized that he was the person that would be able to forgive her. So she's worshiping, and she's crying because See, this is some religious folk don't do much, and that's cry over their sinful condition. When's the last time you cried about something you did wrong? You were so broken, so convicted on the inside till you cried about it. Religious folk just pass sin over because their hearts are religious. And so they think because they're religious, they got it all together. God is okay with them. He loves what they're doing, and they are okay. See, I'm trying to show you the difference in the world when they finally come to Jesus from religious folk that's in the church. Number one, religion or religious spirits deviate from sound biblical doctrine. That's one of the first characteristics of a religious spirit. It deviates from sound biblical doctrine. It does not adhere to sound biblical doctrine because it follows its own traditions, its own opinions, its own preferences. And that has been established in the heart, and the person does not want to change. So what they do is they will twist, they will distort, or they will even ignore the scriptures. That's what happened when you are under a religious spirit. You will twist the word, you will distort the word, or you just ignore the word all by itself. This is what this is how you know you got a religious spirit or a traditional spirit, is when you say, well, this is how we did it. This is how we did it back then, back in the day. This is how they did it at Reverend so-and-so's church. Your heart is stuck on tradition. Your heart is religious. And so to suit your own agenda, you will then justify your behavior by your own traditions. People either add or subtract from the Word of God to fit their behavior, to fit their hearts, to fit what they want to do. They will claim that they got some kind of revelation, but it ends up being contradicted by the Word of God. They claim they got some kind of new revelation, and it goes beyond the revealed Word of God. That's a religious spirit that deviates from sound biblical doctrine. They go beyond it. They go beyond the Word of God. A religious spirit is a stronghold of the mind. You don't want to go to the Word to make sure that what you're doing is in line. There have been things I've had to change over the years when I found out that I was not in line with the Word. I had to get in line with it. I was still preaching some traditions that I had, and then I had to realize that it was not going to be of any effect for the lives of the people that I was teaching.